أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم يخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ثم لتكونوا شيوخا ومنكم من يتوفى من قبل ولتبلغوا أجلا مسمى ولعلكم تعقلون. هو الذي يحيي ويميت فإذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون. ألم تر إلى الذين يجادلون في آيات الله أنى يصرفون. صدق الله العظيم. These are ayat from Surat Ghafir, the ayah number 67, 68 and 69. In the ayah number 67, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة. It is He, Allah, it is He who has created you from dust. The beginning of this ayah makes us remember the ayat, beginning with the ayah number 60. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He said to His servants, "Ud'uni astajib lakum," call upon me so that I will respond you. And after that ayah, subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about Himself and that He has made the night and the day for us, and that He is the one who created everything, and that who made the earth as a dwelling place and the sky, this as-sama, as a sound structure, وَصَوَّرَكُمْ, and that He is the one who shaped us in our mother's wombs, and that He is the one who provides us whatever we need. And again in the ayah number 65, He said, هُوَ الْحَيُّ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ. It is He who is the ever-living. So call upon Him, making the religion for Him alone. And then He asked His Prophet Muhammad, and also everyone followed him, to say to those who call upon the others that we have been forbidden to worship those whom they call upon beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that this is unimaginable thing for us, because we have received the ayat of the Almighty God, the clarities from Him, the truth, the signs of the only one God, and no need to call upon anyone else apart from Him. It is He who is the only one and who is in control of all things, and therefore we should submit to Him. وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أُسْلِمَ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And here in the ayah number 67, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to talk about Himself and His mighty signs in this life. And so we can understand that Allah, the only one God, He wants again to say that do not call upon the others. Look at my mighty signs. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. For example, in this ayah, number 67, it is He who has created you. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. So there is no doubt about the creation. But there is a question, who created us? And you can see the children, you can see with their pure mind, they are asking this question, who created me? And if you say your mother and your parent, they married and you came out of them, you will ask again, and who created them? From whom they came out? And then he wants to go to the origin and to know the reality, not the period. It's clear that there is a period, but who is the first? And the first one, by whom he created. For example, if you say Adam, the first one, did Adam create himself? Is he the creator of himself? No. Then the real and main question at that point, who created Adam? We want to confront with our creator. We need to confront with him. So this question is natural in every human being. It's in our nature. We want to know him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah says, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. This is as the same when he says, هُوَ الَّذِي جَعَلَ لَكُمُ اللَّيْلَ. It is Allah, it is He who made the night for you. The night is over there, and it's a reality in our life. So no doubt about it. We ask who made it for us. We see the proper coincidence between us and the night, and how we need it, and the day, and all the beauty and features of this life. Who made them? And who made us? So the question is not what is this, or is there something called earth, or is there something called day, or is there some people called human being. The question is who made them? Which power is behind all of this creation? Because of this main question and natural question, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming with the answer, because the question is already on the table. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. It is He, Huwa, it is He who has created you from dust. So when we read the ayah, we understand that that question already knew by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knew us, and He knew that we are certain about our creation, and we are certain that not our parents and not his grandfathers didn't create us, and we are certain that there should be a creator who has created us. Who is He? The answer in the ayah, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. When we call God in this religion, we mention Him as the creator. It is He who has created you. The God, the only one God. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. It is He who has created you from dust. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us from dust, and our nature comes from dust. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created the dust also. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. Then will you go and call upon the others while Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you from dust? At the beginning, at the first hand, when He created Adam. ثُمَّ مِن نُطْفَةٍ. Then He created you from nutfa. and maybe we can say Adam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him directly from dust, but then after him Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the human being from nutfa, thumma, then min nutfa. Or maybe you can say the original, our origin comes from dust, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us from dust. So even after Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, when he creates a human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he, at the second stage, when he use a nutfa, we should know that the nutfa itself comes from dust, original. Thumma min nutfa, then from nutfa. What does it mean nutfa? It may be something like sperm. Thumma min alaqa, then from a clot. Thumma min alaqa. Alaqa means something hanged in abeyance. Thumma min alaqatin, then from a clot which is hanged. This is the second stage, third stage in the ayah. ثُمَّ يُخْرِجُكُمْ طِفْلًا, then he brings you forth as an infant. ثُمَّ يُخْرِجُكُمْ طِفْلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions here the stages which he created us, and he is the only one who caused us to pass these different stages. هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم يخرجكم طفلا. Then he brings you out. He brings you forth as an infant. ثم يخرجكم طفلا. ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم. Then he makes you grow to reach the age of full strength. لِتَبْلُغُوا أَشُدَّكُمْ. These stages in our life, we leave these stages and we sure about them. And our children will leave these stages, and our fathers or our ancestors lived these stages. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I am the one who made them. These not out of your choice. You didn't choose to be an infant at the first step and then to be an adult and then to be an old. This wasn't our choice. Actually, maybe some of us do not like these stages. Maybe no one likes to be an old, an elderly. So it's clear that this is not our choice, and this is a decree, this is a destiny over us. So there should be someone made this choice about our life, because in our life and in our creation there is no any single point without meaning. Our eyes, ears, hands, our limbs, and everything in our body and in our psychology, we see that there is a meaning for them all, and there should be a meaning for our stages of our life. And who made this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the beginning of this ayah answer, Huwa. It is He who made them all. So we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by these things, that how we come to know Him. There is a strong relation between the Creator, between the only one God, and between all of these creation. Actually, we know Him through this creation. And when we worship, we say, I worship the one who created me. And no doubt, and you will be sure at that moment that you have the sound religion, and there is no doubt in your religion, no doubt in your prostration. You are addressing Him in an exactly way, the one who created me, Allah, the only one God. هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم يخرجكم طفلا. Then He brings you forth as an infant. ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes the human being grow in order to reach the age of full strength. لتبلغوا أشدكم. Maybe this is 40 years. ولما بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة. Because there is ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that he reached the age of his full strength and he reached 40 years of old. ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم. Maybe it is 40 years, or maybe it is differs for in every century, I do not know. ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ثم لتكونوا شيوخا. Then to be old, then you become elderly. ثم لتكونوا شيوخا. This is the stages, this is the path which we will come to pass. ثم لتكونوا شيوخا ومنكم من يتوفى من قبل. Though some among you die before. It doesn't mean that every human being will go these stages. There are some who die before. ومنكم من يتوفى من قبل ولتبلغوا أجلا مسمى. And maybe you will ask at this moment, what about those who die before? Maybe before emerging to this life, before being fully formed, or before emerging this life, or after emerging this life, in their infancy or in their youth. Min qablu means before to be an old. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى مِنْ قَبْلُ. Though some among you die before. At the end, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned ثُمَّ لِتَكُونُوا شُيُوخًا. Then to be an old, so it means before becoming old. There are some die. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى مِنْ قَبْلُ. So why they die before becoming old, and their opportunity isn't their opportunity less than the others who become old? We talked about this issue in many ayat before, and we said that the opportunity, it doesn't mean, it's not only about the time, it's not something about timing. The opportunity in this life to be aware about the truth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show someone who lived 20 years in his life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show him his ayat and make him certain about his ayat as the one who lived 100 years. So the important thing here is the choice, the opportunity to have that will and to be aware about the truth and to consume that chance. So Allah it's not only about the time. So no need to think that that person lived 60 years and that person lived 50 years. There's 10 years between them. The other one had more chance than the first one. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not zalim. He is not unjust. We cannot imagine him as an unjust. He is the just. and He knows the balance which we see on this earth and in this universe. And just He put that balance in the universe. There is a balance between the human being, between the humans, between the people in their life. So first of all, we have not that right to think about Him that He is unjust. This comes from Satan. This is the first point. And the second point, that we are responsible about our life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us, didn't I give you that chance? Didn't I give you that opportunity? Didn't I give you that faculties in order to understand and realize the truth? Didn't I make the truth plain in your eyes, in your sight? And you have that ability to choose the truth, isn't it? When we say yes, but we didn't choose the right way, we didn't acknowledge the truth because we couldn't be sure about the other peoples. It's not up to us. We responsible about ourselves. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about ourselves. We should ask ourselves, do I have that opportunity? Do I see the truth? Do I understand and realize that there should be only one God and I should respect Him because He created me and He gives me whatever I need? This is sufficient for us. We have not the right to refuse the truth and to deny the truth because of a reason, because of a broad reason, because of a reason about the others. This for the same reason, and this is the same thing which made by Fir'aun when he saw that Musa saying the truth and there is no way to refute him. He said, قَالَ فَمَا بَالُ الْقُرُونِ الْأُولَى. He asked him, and what about the people who lived before us? Centuries of the past, the people of the past, and what about them? They didn't know about the creator of al-Alamin, the worlds. You came today and you born today, us. And what about the people who died yesterday? This is a question. But this question does not give you the right to refute the truth, to refute the religion. Look at the answer when Moses responded to him, said, قَالَ عِلْمُهَا عِنْدَ رَبِّي. He said, its knowledge in the side, in my Lord, at my Lord. He knows their situation. He knows how they did live in their life. And I do not know about them, but Allah aware about them, how many truths He made plain for them, and what was their responsibilities toward that truth. I'm not the judgment, I'm not the judge. Allah is the judge, and He has their knowledge. عِلْمُهَا عِنْدَ رَبِّي. But I know, لَا يَضِلُّ رَبِّي. I know that my Lord, the Creator of the heavens and the earth, لَا يَضِلُّهُ. He do not go astray. He do not make unjust to anyone. He will be just to them. We should be sure about them. And first of all, we should concern about ourselves, not about them. عِلْمُهَا عِنْدَ رَبِّي لَا يَضِلُّ رَبِّي وَلَا يَنْسَى. He do not go astray. He do not be unjust, and وَلَا يَنْسَى, and He do not forget. You cannot imagine that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have forgotten them. So He sent the messenger today. No, لَا يَنْسَى. He did not forget them. Of course, He collected all the knowledge and all their life and he was aware about every detail in their life, and he will judge about them justly. No need to think about them. You are certain about yourself and whatever you have in your life, and whatever knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you, and whatever faculties you have. So you should do the best in your life. You should choose the best in your life. This is your responsibility for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you. Do the best. We have not the right to choose the evil, to choose the false, because of some reason that we do not certain and we do not know what did happen in reality. We are not certain about them. So do not make question by yourself, what about a person in some geographical area on this earth, a person who do not know anything about religion, what will happen to him? If that case, no need to accept the religion because of that man. This is only a question. You produced it. Maybe there is not a person like that, or if so, there is a person. You are not certain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the knowledge by any means, made the truth plain for him or not. But we can be sure that لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها. Allah will not charge anyone because of something that He didn't give him. He will not ask anyone anything which He didn't give him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first of all give that ability and then make him responsible for that action. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما أتاها. So we are responsible for ourselves, about ourselves, and we should do the best. We should try to do the best in our life and to understand and to look for the truth, and as soon as we understand it, acknowledge the truth. هو الذي خلقكم. For example, in this ayah, how can we reject this ayah? That He is the one, it is the only one God who created us from dust. Our creation, can we deny it? We are sure that there is a creator and we are talking about Him. We do not naming Him. When you say yes, there should be a creator, it's okay. And we are talking about Him, Huwa, He. هو الذي خلقكم من تراب ثم من نطفة. We know all these stages today. ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم يخرجكم طفلا. Then He brings you forth as an infant. ثم لتبلغوا شيوخا. Then He makes you grow. It's clear. Every day we see our children. They grow and we see ourselves. We saw ourselves. ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ثم لتكونوا شيوخا. Then to be an old. Yes, we are in that period and we leave that period. Although we do not like it, no one likes to be an old, but this is the decree of the Creator. It's clear. We cannot deny it. We should say, oh my Creator, You are the one who made me grow and now makes me to be an old. I'm thanking You. I thank You that You created me at the first hand, and then You give me this beautiful life. Please make the life after this time beautiful for me. I am respectful for Your decree, for Your command. ثم لتكونوا شيوخا. No need to be rebellious against Him. ثم لتكونوا شيوخا ومنكم من يتوفى من قبل. And this is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some among you die before. We cannot say, why? How can you kill them? How can you cause them to death? Why didn't you give for everyone 60 years equally or 70 years equally. This is His mighty, this is His kingdom, and He does whatever He will. But He says, I do according an hikmah, according a wise. I know what you do not know. So be respectful to me. We should be respectful to Him. We should not imagine Him as cruel or as an unjust, because we have already seen that He created all these beauties and the balance. We have seen Him that He is the most merciful. In our life, in the creation, when we see an infant comes to life, we see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mercy unto him. So we should respect him, we should love him. We should not think him that he is a bad and he is an evil one. We have not that right, and we didn't see any sign for that thing. This is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should respect him. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى مِنْ قَبْلِ. And we should know that He does not unjust to them. He deals equally for everyone. And we have not every ilm. We do not know everything. This is a reality. So we cannot judge about something, about things that we do not know them fully. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى مِنْ قَبْلِ. Same thing happened when the angels asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قَالُوا أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا. They asked him, will you create on earth, on the surface of earth, a human being, مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا, who will mischief on earth, وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ, who will kill each other, وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. I know what you do not know. You are asking a question out of your because out of your ignorance. And then at that point they said, لا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا. They said, yes, we do not know. We know only what you taught us. So there may be something in this issue, so our question may be invalid. So they stopped asking. We should do the same about something that we do not have knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused him to die at 25. This is the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not the one who says we should believe in anything we see in religion without questioning it. No. In our belief, we should have certain solid evidences, proof. We cannot follow anything blindly. We should understand and realize in order to follow in our belief, for example, the Creator, and monotheistic belief of Islam. But about the actions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should know that He should be just, and there should be a real reason for that thing when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى مِنْ قَبْلِ. Though among you die before. وَلِتَبْلُغُوا أَجَلًا مُسَمًّى. The important thing here is to reach an appointed term. وَلِتَبْلُغُوا أَجَلًا مُسَمًّى. And this term differs from someone to that one. And we know that that person lived 50 years and that person lived 55 years. The difference between them 5 years may be balanced from an aspect we do not know. But we should know that Allah should be equal. Allah is al-adl, because we have seen Him that He is al-adl. in this life and in balance in the system in this life, in our life. We know that He has that knowledge to create this universe in balance. How can He cannot make the balance between human beings? So that 5 years could be balanced in between them. The same happening between all the people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the same opportunity in their life. And here He says, لِتَبْلُغُ أَجَلًا مُسَمَّى, an appointed term for everyone, and an appointed life, circumstances in that life, where and when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the ayat clear for him, and how much knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him in that life and in that period of time. All of them, when you think about all of them totally, if we had that knowledge, we could see that there is a quality, an equal balance between them all. وَلِتَبْلُغُ أَجَلًا مُسَمَّى, and in order to reach an appointed term, everyone will reach that appointed term, and that appointed term will give him the ability وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, to understand, to realize, to reason. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Look, there is a life, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there is an end for that life, but something in this life, in this period, I make it clear in that life how much it is short or long, but that opportunity, that life contains that opportunity. It must be in that life. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. For those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, and He will take them to account and will punish them or reward them. We are not talking about those who are out of this exam. Maybe the one who created as who do not have reason. He lives only this life, who do not have reason. He is not inside of this exam. He is out of this exam, and we do not know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what He will make for him. But we sure that Allah will not chastise him, will not punish him, because he had not that choice. He couldn't understand the truth. He was a mad. We are not talking about them. We are talking about those who have a sound life, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them that opportunity, and so therefore He will punish them for their evil deeds, or He will reward them for their good deeds. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Those people will have that opportunity, the main opportunity in this life. تَعْقِلُونَ, making aql, understanding, reasoning. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. If you look at these stages in this life, you will understand that the person, after coming out, emerging to this life, while he do not know anything, أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. Allah brings you forth out, delivers you from the whims of your mothers while you do not know anything. But then after time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the abilities to collect the knowledge, to understand, to realize. He have a task in his life, and he is responsible for that task, because he have the means for that task in his life. So when you look at the human being life, you can understand that he should reason in his life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expecting him to reason and to achieve the meaning of his life, to understand, because he have that faculties. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.